Did you know there are towns in California where the rent is under $1,000 a month and homes cost less than half of what you'd pay in Los Angeles or San Francisco? Imagine buying a house for under $250,000 in 2025, in the very same state where million-dollar price tags have become the norm. Even more surprising, some of these places offer crime rates lower than the state average, with quiet neighborhoods, walkable downtowns, and schools families actually trust. And here's the kicker. You still get California sunshine, natural beauty, and access to beaches, mountains, or big cities without draining your bank account. In this video, we're revealing the 10 cheapest places to live in California, where you can finally have the California dream without the California price tag. Stay tuned, because the #1 spot on this list will completely change the way you think about affordable living in the Golden State. Now, before we dive in, like this video so the algorithm knows you've stumbled on something worthwhile. Subscribe because someday you may want to relocate, and this channel is basically your break glass in case of emergency guide. And let me tell you, this is not surface-level content. By the end of this video, you'll either be packing your bags or second-guessing why life in these towns is so cheap. At number 10, we kick things off with Sacramento, California's capital city. Known as the City of Trees, Sacramento blends politics, culture, and affordability in a way most people don't expect. While the Bay Area steals the spotlight, Sacramento quietly offers one of the best cost-of-living trade-offs in the state. Let's talk numbers. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment here hovers around $1,450 a month. Compare that to San Francisco, where a similar unit can run you more than $3,200. And you see why Sacramento is attractive. Housing prices are also reasonable for California standards. The median home price in Sacramento sits at about $475,000. Yes, that may sound high if you're from the Midwest, but in California, it's a bargain. Just 1 hour away in the Bay, that price barely buys you a studio condo. So what's life like here? Sacramento offers a laid-back lifestyle with a mix of urban and suburban vibes. You've got riverside bike trails, farm-to-fork dining, and a growing craft beer scene. The city also has one of the highest concentrations of trees per capita in the entire country. That means leafy neighborhoods, shaded streets, and plenty of parks. Commute-wise, Sacramento is strategic. You're just under 2 hours from San Francisco, Lake Tahoe, or Napa Valley. For weekend warriors, that means skiing, wine tasting, or Silicon Valley networking is always within reach. Now let's hit affordability. Sacramento remains cheaper because it's not as overrun by tech companies as San Jose or San Francisco. Job growth is strong, especially in healthcare, education, and government. But wages still match up decently with living costs. Add in lower utility bills compared to desert cities like El Centro, and you start to see the balance. Another factor, Sacramento's food scene. Thanks to its location in the Central Valley, produce here is abundant and cheaper. Eating fresh, local, and organic isn't just trendy, it's actually affordable. Families love Sacramento too. The school system is improving, suburban neighborhoods are safe, and housing is still within reach for first-time buyers. For young professionals, Midtown Sacramento offers a lively nightlife without San Francisco's insane price tag. Of course, it's not perfect. Summers can be brutally hot, with temps soaring past 100 degrees, and with the city's growth, traffic is becoming more of a headache. But compared to LA or the Bay, it's still manageable. At the end of the day, Sacramento is proof that California living doesn't always mean California pricing. You get proximity to world-class destinations. You get a slower pace, greener streets, and more affordable housing. That's why Sacramento proudly takes the number 10 spot on our list of cheapest places to live in California. Coming in at number 9 is Visalia, a hidden gem tucked in California's Central Valley. This city doesn't always make the headlines, but for those looking to stretch their dollar, Visalia delivers in surprising ways. Known as the gateway to the Sequoias, it offers affordable living paired with stunning access to nature. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Visalia lands around $1,100 a month, significantly cheaper than coastal cities where the same space could easily triple in price. For families or first-time buyers, The median home price sits at about $360,000, making it one of the more budget-friendly housing markets in California. Compared to the state's median of over $760,000, Visalia feels almost like a bargain bin find. But affordability doesn't mean sacrificing quality of life. Visalia has a charming downtown lined with local shops, theaters, and restaurants that give it a small-town feel with just enough city convenience. The food culture here benefits from being in the heart of one of the most productive agricultural regions in the nation. Fresh produce, farmers markets, and farm-to-table dining aren't luxuries, they're everyday life. The job market is steady, with opportunities in healthcare, education, and agriculture driving much of the local economy. Kauai Health, one of the largest employers in the region, anchors the city with thousands of jobs. Teachers, nurses, and agricultural workers can actually afford to live close to where they work, which is rare in many parts of the state. For families, the city offers strong schools and family-friendly amenities like parks, recreation centers, and libraries. Safety is a big draw as well. Many neighborhoods boast crime rates lower than the national average, especially when compared with larger urban hubs nearby. Parents here often say they feel comfortable letting their kids ride bikes or play outside, something that's becoming harder to find in big cities. Now, it's not all perfect. Summers in Visalia can be scorching, often pushing into triple digits. Air quality can also be a concern, given its location in the Central Valley where pollution sometimes settles. But despite these drawbacks, the low cost of living offsets much of the downside for people seeking affordability. At the end of the day, Visalia proves that not every California city requires millionaire status to enjoy a good life. With affordable housing, fresh food straight from the farms, and access to some of the most beautiful national parks in the country, it's a place where you can live comfortably without emptying your wallet. That's why Visalia proudly earns its spot at number 9 on our list of the cheapest places to live in California. At number 8, we move just a few miles south to Tulare, another Central Valley city that keeps California living within reach. Tulare is often overshadowed by its neighbors, but for anyone looking for affordable housing and a slower pace of life, this town is a hidden opportunity. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Tulare comes in around $1,000 a month, making it one of the most budget-friendly markets in the state. The median home price is roughly $340,000, which is well below California's median and offers a realistic path to homeownership for working families. For many, Tulare represents that rare chance to buy a home in California without drowning in debt. Life in Tulare is centered around community and agriculture. Known for its dairy farms, produce, and wide-open fields, the city has a true small-town charm. Downtown Tulare features mom-and-pop shops, local restaurants, and seasonal fairs that bring neighbors together. And when you need a bigger city feel, Fresno is less than an hour away. The job market here is tied strongly to agriculture and food production, but healthcare, education, and retail also provide stable opportunities. Many residents appreciate that jobs are local, commutes are short, and the overall cost of living doesn't eat away their entire paycheck. Day-to-day expenses like groceries and utilities are noticeably lower than what you'd find in California's coastal regions. For families, Tulare offers affordable neighborhoods, growing schools, and a quieter environment to raise kids. Crime rates in many residential areas are moderate and comparable to other small Central Valley towns, and there's a strong sense of community pride. Of course, like much of the valley, Tulare faces hot summers and occasional air quality concerns. But the trade-off is affordability, space, and a calmer lifestyle, things that are becoming harder to find in the Golden State. Tulare may not have the glamour of Los Angeles or the tech-driven energy of San Francisco, but what it does have is peace, affordability, and opportunity. It's a city where everyday people can still build a life, own a home, and enjoy the California sun without the California price tag. That's why Tulare takes the number 8 spot on our list of the cheapest places to live in California. At number 7, we head further south in the Central Valley to Porterville, a small but growing city that often flies under the radar. Porterville might not make national headlines, but for affordability, it's one of California's best-kept secrets. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment here is around $950 a month, making it one of the cheapest in the state. The median home price is about $320,000, well below the state average, and a figure that makes first-time homeownership actually possible. For many Californians priced out of coastal metros, Porterville feels like a hidden escape. Life here moves at a slower, more relaxed pace. Porterville is surrounded by farmland and is a gateway to the Sierra Nevada foothills, which means outdoor adventure is never far away. Hiking, camping, and fishing are part of the lifestyle, while in town you'll find small businesses, local diners, and family-owned shops that give the community its character. The job market is fueled largely by agriculture, food production, and local services. While wages aren't as high as in big metro areas, the dramatically lower cost of living balances things out. Residents enjoy shorter commutes, cheaper groceries, and everyday expenses that feel manageable compared to the rest of California. For families, Porterville is especially appealing. Affordable neighborhoods, local schools, and a strong community spirit make it an easy place to settle down. Crime rates vary by area, but many neighborhoods maintain a reputation for being safe and family-friendly. Of course, like other Central Valley towns, Porterville does face challenges. Hot summers, water scarcity, and limited big city amenities are part of the reality. But the affordability, access to nature, and slower pace continue to draw people who want to live in California without paying California's sky-high prices. At the end of the day, Porterville is proof that affordability still exists in the Golden State. With cheap rents, low housing costs, and a simple but fulfilling lifestyle, it earns its spot as number 7 on our list of the cheapest places to live in California. Number 6 is Clovis. Sitting just outside Fresno in California's Central Valley, is often called the gateway to the Sierras. But beyond the slogan, this city offers something rare in California, a balance of affordability, safety, and quality of life that continues to draw new residents year after year. On the housing front, Clovis is surprisingly approachable for a city with such a strong reputation. The median home price is around $440,000, significantly lower than the state median of over $760,000. For renters, the average one-bedroom apartment costs about $1,400 a month, which is half of what you'd pay in Los Angeles or San Diego. For California standards, these numbers represent the sweet spot between affordability and livability. What sets Clovis apart from many other Central Valley towns is its reputation for being safe, clean, and family-oriented. The city consistently ranks among the safest mid-sized cities in California, which is why so many families choose to plant roots here. Parents are particularly drawn by the Clovis Unified School District, widely recognized as one of the best in the state. Strong academics, well-kept campuses, and active sports programs make the schools a centerpiece of the community. Outdoor living is another major perk. Being at the foot of the Sierra Nevada mountains, residents can drive less than an hour to reach lakes, hiking trails, and national parks. Yosemite, Kings Canyon, and Sequoia are all close enough for weekend adventures, which gives Clovis a lifestyle edge over many other affordable towns in California. The job market here is tied to Fresno's growing economy, with opportunities in healthcare, education, and agriculture. Many professionals live in Clovis and commute into Fresno, enjoying the lower crime rates and higher quality of life Clovis provides. The cost of daily living, from groceries to utilities, is manageable compared to the coastal metro areas. That's why Clovis earns the number 6 spot on our list of the cheapest places to live in California, not only for its affordability, but for the quality of life it gives to those who call it home. 5 is Eureka. Eureka sits quietly on California's rugged northern coast, a world away from the frenzied pace and high costs of San Francisco or Los Angeles. Here, the towering redwoods frame the skyline, and the Pacific Ocean crashes against rocky shores. It's a place that feels both timeless and affordable, a rarity in today's California. The housing market in Eureka tells the story best. While the state median home price has soared past $850,000, Eureka offers an average closer to $400,000, nearly half the cost. That difference alone makes homeownership realistic for families and retirees who want California's beauty without its crushing price tag. Renters, too, breathe easier here, with monthly rents averaging around $1,200, far lower than the staggering figures seen in coastal metros to the south. Life in Eureka isn't just about saving money, it's about lifestyle. This is a town that moves at a slower rhythm, where neighbors still know each other's names and where nature isn't just a weekend getaway, it's part of daily life. The Redwood National and State Parks are practically in your backyard, offering endless opportunities for hiking, camping, and quiet reflection beneath some of the tallest trees on Earth. The economy is steady if modest, with jobs in healthcare, education, and local government leading the way. There's also a growing creative class here. Artists, writers, and remote workers drawn by the low cost of living and the inspiration of a dramatic landscape. Compared to cities like San Diego or San Jose, where tech money drives the market out of reach, Eureka feels refreshingly grounded. Food and culture thrive too. The town has a rich Victorian history, visible in its ornate Old Town architecture, and a surprisingly strong local food scene. Farmers' markets brim with organic produce, while coastal fisheries bring in some of the freshest seafood in the state. For many residents, dinner is less about dining out in luxury and more about simple, high-quality meals shared with family and friends. What makes Eureka stand out isn't just affordability, it's balance. Here, you can own a home, pay reasonable rent, and still have enough left over to live fully. You don't have to sacrifice natural beauty, safety, or community ties to save money. That's the kind of affordability California rarely offers, and it's why Eureka remains one of the state's best-kept secrets for anyone looking to stretch their dollar without giving up the California dream. At number 4 is Chico. Chico sits quietly in the northern Sacramento Valley, but don't let its laid-back charm fool you. This is one of California's most affordable and livable cities. At a time when rent in most of the state soars well above $2,500, Chico keeps its prices far more approachable. Average rent hovers around $1,400 for a modest apartment, and if you're looking to buy, the median home price comes in at about $420,000. By California standards, that's a steal, especially when you compare it to the Bay Area or Los Angeles, where starter homes can easily top $1 million. What makes Chico stand out is the balance it strikes between affordability and lifestyle. This is a college town, home to California State University, Chico, which infuses the city with a youthful energy and cultural richness. Cafes, bookstores, live music venues, and a thriving local food scene keep the city vibrant and constantly moving. Yet it's not overwhelming. You'll find that Chico still carries a small-town rhythm, where neighbors know one another, and community ties run deep. One of Chico's crown jewels is Bidwell Park, one of the largest municipal parks in the country. Spanning over 3,600 acres, it's bigger than New York's Central Park, offering hiking trails, swimming holes, bike paths, and wide green spaces where residents gather for everything from morning jogs to summer festivals. This access to nature, paired with the warm Mediterranean climate, gives Chico an outdoor lifestyle that rivals California's more expensive coastal cities. But affordability here isn't just about cheap housing. The cost of groceries, healthcare, and transportation all trend lower than the state average, stretching every dollar further. For families, Chico offers good public schools and a safe environment to raise children, making it a desirable landing spot for those priced out of California's big metros. The presence of the university also means a steady job market, not just in education, but in healthcare, retail, and growing tech-adjacent industries. Living in Chico means trading the stress of traffic-choked freeways and unaffordable rents for a slower, more intentional pace of life. It's a place where you can still dream of owning a home, still send your kids to a local park without worry, and still walk into a downtown cafe without battling crowds. In a state often defined by its high cost of living, Chico remains one of California's rare bargains, proof that affordability and quality of life can coexist if you know where to look. At number 3 is Stockton. Stockton, a city set along the San Joaquin Delta, is one of California's most talked about towns when it comes to affordability. Once known mainly for its struggles, Stockton has been making a quiet but powerful comeback, drawing in families and individuals who want the benefits of California living without the overwhelming price tag of places like San Francisco or Los Angeles. Here, the median home price sits around $450,000, a figure that might sound steep until you compare it to California's statewide median of nearly $900,000. Renting is also within reach, with the average apartment going for about $1,600 a month, making Stockton a far more approachable option than coastal hotspots where rents soar past $3,000. But Stockton's story isn't just about lower prices, it's about opportunity and growth. The city is strategically located in the Central Valley, offering easy access to San Francisco and Sacramento while maintaining its own thriving identity. It has long been an agricultural powerhouse, but in recent years it's been diversifying, with growth in healthcare, logistics, and education providing new career pathways for locals. For many, Stockton is that middle ground, urban enough to offer amenities, yet affordable enough to plant roots. Cultural life in Stockton has also been gaining attention. The city is home to the Stockton Symphony, one of the oldest in California, and events like the Stockton Asparagus Festival reflect both its agricultural roots and its community pride. Beyond culture, the city's food scene is as diverse as its people, with cuisines ranging from Mexican to Cambodian, thanks to its large immigrant population. For families, this means raising children in a community that blends cultures and perspectives, while offering relatively affordable access to sports, arts, and education. What sets Stockton apart is how much value it offers compared to the rest of California. Where else in the Golden State can you find a home under $500,000, a growing job market, and a cost of living that doesn't leave you gasping for air? For many, Stockton is proof that affordable California living is still possible, even in 2025. It's a city in transition, one that offers both challenges and opportunities, but for the right person, it can be the affordable answer to the dream of staying in California without breaking the bank. Claiming the number 2 spot is Bakersfield, tucked into California's southern Central Valley, often surprises people who only know the Golden State for its expensive coastal cities. This city of more than 400,000 residents is one of the few places in California where a middle-class paycheck still stretches far enough to cover a mortgage, bills, and a bit of comfort. The median home price in Bakersfield hovers around $370,000 in 2025, less than half of what you'd pay in Los Angeles or San Francisco. Rent for a modest one-bedroom apartment averages about $1,200 a month, which is considered a bargain compared to most urban hubs across the state. Bakersfield has built a reputation as both an energy powerhouse and an agricultural giant. Oil fields surround the city, and fertile farmland feeds much of the nation, making jobs in both energy and agriculture widely available. Healthcare and education are also expanding sectors, with major employers like Kern Medical and California State University, Bakersfield providing stability. For families, this means not just affordable housing, but also opportunities for solid, long-term employment. While Bakersfield doesn't carry the same glamorous reputation as the Bay Area or coastal California, its affordability and practicality make it highly attractive for those who value financial security. The cost of living here is 30% lower than the California average, giving residents breathing room in their budgets. Everyday essentials, from groceries to utilities, tend to come in cheaper than most other California cities. That extra wiggle room means many families can save, invest, or even travel while still building a life at home. Beyond economics, Bakersfield offers a blend of small-town friendliness and big-city amenities. Its cultural scene is rooted in the city's unique history. It's considered the birthplace of the Bakersfield Sound, a gritty, authentic style of country music popularized by legends like Buck Owens and Merle Haggard. Today, the Buck Owens Crystal Palace remains a popular music venue that brings the city's heritage to life. Pair that with diverse dining options, festivals, and a growing arts community, and Bakersfield feels far more dynamic than outsiders might assume. Nature is never too far away. Residents enjoy quick access to the Sierra Nevada mountains for hiking and camping, or they can head west toward the coast for a weekend getaway. The Kern River runs through the region, offering both beauty and recreation, though locals will tell you to respect its strong currents. For those seeking balance, Bakersfield provides wide-open spaces, relatively low traffic compared to larger metros, and plenty of sunshine, over 270 days a year. Bakersfield stands as one of California's most affordable big cities, a rare place where you can buy a home without selling your future. It may not offer the Pacific Ocean at your doorstep or Silicon Valley's tech salaries, but what it does provide is stability, affordability, and a community where everyday people can build their dreams. Claiming the #1 spot is Fresno. Fresno claims the top spot on our list for one very clear reason. It's one of the few large cities in California where affordability still has a fighting chance. While Los Angeles and San Francisco grab the headlines with million-dollar median home prices, Fresno quietly offers a reality that feels almost impossible in 2025. Here, the median home price hovers around $370,000, and rents often sit between $1,200 and $1,600, figures that seem almost modest when compared to the crushing costs in other parts of the state. But Fresno isn't just about being cheaper, it's about offering a balanced lifestyle that feels sustainable. The city sits at the heart of the San Joaquin Valley, surrounded by some of the richest farmland in America. That means not only do you get access to fresh, locally grown produce year-round, but you also feel more connected to California's agricultural roots. For families, young professionals, and even retirees, Fresno provides a pace of life that feels grounded yet full of potential. Education and opportunity also give Fresno its edge. California State University Fresno, commonly called Fresno State, anchors the city's academic landscape, driving research, innovation, and cultural events. Alongside that, healthcare and agriculture continue to serve as the backbone of the local economy, while logistics and tech startups are slowly carving out their space. The job market here isn't as explosive as Los Angeles or San Jose, but it's steady, growing, and far more accessible for people starting out. Culturally, Fresno has begun to shed its reputation as simply a farm town. A growing arts scene, live music, and a blend of historic and modern architecture are shaping new stories about the city. Tower District, for example, is a hub for nightlife, food, and creativity, offering a distinctly local flavor you won't find in more commercialized parts of California. And when it comes to food, Fresno's diverse population ensures that you'll find everything from authentic Mexican cuisine to farm-to-table dining, all without the inflated price tags of the coast. Another major advantage of Fresno is its location. The city sits within a 2-hour drive of some of California's most breathtaking natural treasures. Yosemite National Park, Sequoia National Park, and Kings Canyon are practically in its backyard, making weekend escapes to towering granite cliffs or giant sequoia groves a part of everyday life. This proximity to nature creates a lifestyle where you don't have to sacrifice affordability to enjoy California's beauty. Of course, Fresno isn't without challenges. Summers are hot, triple digits are normal, and the region has long battled issues like air quality and water supply. But for many, these are trade-offs worth making when compared to the financial strain of living in more expensive California metros. The city's ongoing investment in infrastructure, public spaces, and community development suggests that Fresno is leaning into growth rather than resisting it. And there you have it, the 10 cheapest places to live in California. From the vibrant streets of Sacramento to the farmland warmth of Tulare, the seaside beauty of Eureka, and finally, the heart of affordability in Fresno, these towns prove that California isn't just about sky-high rent and million-dollar homes. The truth is, you don't have to sacrifice sunshine, culture, or community just to keep a roof over your head. These cities are living proof that affordable living in California is still possible, if you know where to look. So, if you've been dreaming of moving to the Golden State without draining your savings, maybe your perfect home is already waiting for you in one of these towns. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button so the algorithm knows this is worth sharing. Subscribe, because someday you may be planning your move, and you'll want to come back for even more insights on where to live next. Until next time, keep dreaming big and living smart. Your affordable California life might be just one decision away.